Hello, good day. How are you today? Okay, so are we ready for today's lesson? Good. So, in today's lesson in basic science, we are going to be looking at weather. We are going to be looking at weather in today's basic science. Are we ready to go on with today's lesson? Okay, we are ready. Firstly, we are going to look at the meaning of weather. What is weather? Weather refers to the short-term, day-to-day atmospheric conditions in a specific location. It includes factors such as temperature, humidity, precipitation like rain, sun, hail, wind speed and direction, cloud cover, and atmospheric pressure. Weather conditions can change rapidly and are typically described for a specific time and place, such as today's weather in your city or town. Weather is what's happening in the sky and atmosphere of today. It includes things like if it's raining, sunny, or windy, or cloudy. That is weather. It is what happens in the sky and in the atmosphere. Okay, then let's look at the meaning of climate. Climate, on the other hand, represents the long-term pattern and average conditions of temperature, humidity, and other weather elements in a particular region. Climate describes the typical weather condition in an area over an extended period, usually 30 years or more. Climate helps us understand the general expectation for a region, such as whether it is tropical, arid, temperate, or polar. Climate data is often used for purposes like agriculture, urban planning, and predicting long-term trends. So climate is what the weather is usually like in a place for a long time. For example, some places are usually hot and dry, while others are usually cold and snowy. Climate tells us what to expect for a long time. Weather is day to day. Climate is for a long time. Okay? Do we understand that? Let's look at the meaning of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is like the air all around us. It's a big invisible layer of gas that covers the earth. This layer of air is what we breathe, and it is what makes weather happen. It's like a protective blanket around our planet. That is the atmosphere. The atmosphere is like a big blanket of air that surrounds our planet, Earth. It's a mixture of gas like oxygen, nitrogen, and others that are all around us. The atmosphere has different layers. which have their own characteristics also. Okay, let's look at what instruments we use in measuring the weather. First of all, we are going to know the meaning of weather measurement. Okay, weather measurement is about finding out whether the weather is like a particular time at and place. Weather measurement is about finding out what the weather is like at a particular time and place. We use special tools called instruments to help us do that. These instruments help us measure things like temperature, wind and rain. So they are instruments that are used to measure the weather, to tell us how the weather will be like today. Okay, so we are going to be looking at the instruments we use in measuring weather. We have the thermometer. This looks like a tube with numbers on it. It tells us how hot or cold it is. We use it to measure temperature, the temperature of the day. The thermometer is used to measure the temperature. If the mercury or liquid inside the thermometer goes up, it's getting hotter. And if it goes down, it's getting colder. Okay? We have the anemometer. The anemometer helps us measure the wind. It has spinning cups or blades that move faster when it's windy. The speed of the spinning helps us know how strong the wind is. So the anemometer helps us to measure wind. Remember, the thermometer helps us to measure the temperature, if it's hot or cold. The anemometer helps us to measure wind, to know how strong the wind is. Okay? Then we also have the rain gauge. A rain gauge is like a tube that collects rain. We use it to measure how much rain falls. If the water level inside the tube goes up, it means more rain has fallen. So the rain gauge is used to collect rain. It's a tube that is used to collect rain. It measures how much rain falls. Okay? Then we have the barometer. The barometer looks like a dial with a hand that moves. It tells us about the air pressure. High pressure usually means sunny weather, while low pressure can mean rainy or stormy weather. So the barometer tells us about the air pressure. Okay? Weather vane. This is an instrument on the top of buildings that shows which way the wind is blowing. It has an arrow that points in the direction of the wind. So the weather vane is at the top of buildings and it shows which way the wind is blowing. Then we also have the hygrometer. It measures humidity, which tells us how much moisture is in the air. The hygrometer measures humidity, which tells us how much moisture is in the air. It can help us understand if the air is dry or humid. Okay, so these are instruments that are used to measure the weather. All these that we mentioned are instruments that are used to measure the weather. So what are the factors that influence the weather? We have the sun. The sun makes it hot during the day and cool at night. More sun, more heat. The sun is a huge source of heat for our planet. It provides light and warmth. The amount of sunlight a place gets affects how hot or cold it is. Then the wind. Wind brings warm or cold air to our area. It can make us feel warmer or colder. The wind is the movement of air. It can bring warm or cold air from one place to another. Wind also affects how we feel the temperature. Water. If we live near the water, oceans, lake, your weather might be milder and less extreme. Seasons. Seasons change because the earth tilts. In summer it is warm, in winter it is cold. Clouds. Clouds can make it rainy, sunny, rainy, snowy, or block the sun, making it cooler. So clouds can block the sun and bring rain or snow. They play a very big role in daily weather changes. Human activities. People can influence the weather through activities like pollution, deforestation, urbanization, which can affect local climates. So these are the factors that influence weather. Okay? Climate change and global warming. What does it mean? Climate change is like the long-term weather pattern in a place changing over many years. It can make some places hotter, some colder, and cause more storms and unusual weather. It happens because of things like pollution and too many extra blankets around the earth. The warming of the earth's temperature can change weather over a long time. It can make some places hotter, cause more storms, and even melt ice in polar regions. Global warming. Global warming is part of climate change. It's when the earth gets a bit warmer over many years. It's a bit like adding extra blankets on our planet, which makes it hotter. It's mostly caused by using too many things that produce pollution like cars, factories. Global warming and climate change can affect the environment, animals and people. It is important to use energy wisely and reduce things that make our blankets thicker like pollution. We should reduce the things that causes changes to our climate, our weather. Okay? We can walk or bike instead of driving sometimes. Off lights, turn off lights when we are not using them. Stop burning, causing pollution. So today's lesson on weather, we have talked about the atmosphere, weather measurement instrument, factors influencing the weather, global changes, climatic change, global warming, right? Good. So we understood today's lesson on weather, right? Okay, very good. So we are going to do our assignment, meaning of weather, and the next one, okay?